The next patron question is from Micah, who wanted me to compare two Oscar winners that are not looked at too favorably. Which controversial Best Picture Oscar winner is better, Crash or Green Book? Both of these movies attempted to tackle racial issues, and while they had their fair share of good reviews, there were also plenty of detractors. Them winning the Best Picture Oscar only seemed to worsen their reputations. Neither film would have been my pick for the top prize, but which do I prefer? I have to say, Green Book. One of the main criticisms lobbied at the film was that it was a simplistic reading of the racial climate of the 1960s, and I do think those are valid criticisms, as the movie seems more interested in showing the friendship between classical pianist Don Shirley and his driver Tony Vallelonga, and I found Green Book to be at its strongest when showing the interactions between the two leads, especially when they're in the car and getting to know each other. This is helped by the performances. Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali have some solid chemistry, even if the accuracy of their on-screen friendship is up for debate. Ali was particularly good and deserving of his Best Supporting Actor Oscar. The director, Peter Farrelly, is primarily known for comedies, and he does bring that light touch to a number of scenes. However, he also shows the ugly racism common in the era. Is it portrayed in a way that's too simple and meant to appeal to a mainstream audience? Sure, and that is one of the film's flaws. There's one scene that doesn't really match with Tony during the rest of the movie, where he throws away two glasses used by two black plumbers who visit his house. Only a racist would do something so horrible, and yet for the rest of the movie he doesn't display this sort of racist behavior. I feel they could have cut that scene and the film would have been better for it. Otherwise, the movie is more about Tony finding out his own privilege, and I do think Green Book handles that aspect suitably well. I think Green Book is a decent film, elevated by the two central performances, but of the films nominated for Best Picture, Roma would have gotten my vote. As for Crash, I think this movie has aged worse and worse as the years have gone by. To start with a positive, the performances are pretty good. Of this large cast, Don Cheadle is probably the standout, and we also get solid work from the likes of Terrence Howard, Jennifer Esposito, Matt Dillon, Keith David, and Michael Pena. It's a shame their characters are often thinly written. Crash seems to have its heart in the right place as it attempts to convey a message against racism and stereotyping. However, it does in a way that's completely forced and with the subtlety of a sledgehammer. Nobody feels like a real person here because they're all required to fit into neat little boxes. Despite being a movie that is rallying against stereotypes, the film is full of stereotypes. The movie literally begins with one character having an argument with an Asian woman by mocking her accent, and then what little we learn about this woman does nothing to flesh her out beyond a stereotype. The script is full of lines it thinks are clever, but instead exist to telegraph later scenes. For example, a young man, played by Ludacris, starts ranting about buses. Several scenes later, we see him riding a bus. Crash runs a little under 2 hours, and with the gazillion characters we're following, none of them get the proper amount of screen time to develop. Sandra Bullock plays a district attorney's wife with some heavy prejudices. We spend a little time with her, but not nearly enough to get to know her. Then we get an over-the-top scene where she falls down the stairs, and then the next time we see her, she's not prejudiced anymore because her maid was home. That's one of several examples of how everything is neatly wrapped up. Watching Crash again, I cannot help but think of how Zootopia also sought to show the confrontations people in a large metropolitan city can have, and how their prejudices and view of stereotypes come out in ugly ways, and did it way better. I do have to agree with people who look unfavorably at Crash winning, and if I was an Academy member, Capote would have gotten my vote that year. Now let me know whether you think Green Book or Crash is better, and thank you for your question, Micah.